Hey, what's going on, folks? Got my feet wrapped up in some twine. What we're doing today is we're scouting a little bit of public land, and I've got a sweet tip for you public landers that like to sit in one spot all the time, or you have preset your spots for the season instead of running and gunning. Here is an awesome tip coming up for you right now. Hey, before we get going here, if you haven't yet and you're just watching our videos for the very first time, I would appreciate it, as we all would, if you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button, and we'll keep bringing you good stuff like this. Yeah, so on to what we're doing today. We are in the thick of things out here. This is a long finger of, actually it's the only food source for trees, for nuts, that I can find at the moment on this piece of public property. It's got some shagbark hickories, which in our neck of the woods is great, white oak and red oak, and then we've got some beech trees. And the thing that I really like about this is it's got this basswood tree right here, and I'm standing currently on a main trail, so they use this finger in between two sets of bedding. We've got grass on one side, grass on the other, and what that is nice about when it comes to the rut is that this is going to be an awesome scent checking path for bucks. And there was a scrape here last year, and probably 2 or 3 more back there, because there's limbs that are snapped and they're still a little cleared out underneath, just a little bit from last year, so we know they're using this already. So in general, I found a little bit of a honey hole, honestly. Somebody might hunt this, somebody might come out here that I don't see any signs of people, but I mean, really, I don't think I'm going to. I think it's going to be a little overlooked spot. So I want to spice this up. I want to make this a little extra spicy. We've already talked about the scrapes that were here previously. We want to make it better. This basswood tree that I already mentioned is an ideal spot, like money spot, for a scrape. So I'm going to spice it up just a little bit with a little bit of paracord, and I'm also going to add 1 grapevine to it, just to give it a little extra, because if they break these limbs off, I want something to still be there to give them a licking branch and to get their their forehead glands and all that stuff on. So I want this to be the scrape. I want this to be the scrape in this pinch point funneling area in between bedding, because we got a tree right here that's a perfect setup for a saddle. I can be on the back side of that tree. I can still see out into the grass to my left. I can still see out in the grass to my right. I can hunt it on south winds, which is predominant in this area, south to west winds. And then I also got another tree right here, just in case I want to hunt it on a different angle. And it's just oak trees and shagbark hickories all down this finger. All down this finger is oak and shagbark hickory nuts that are going to start falling here in a few weeks, and it's going to be prime for early season. All right, so let me show you how I do this. I'm going to set you down for a minute. I don't have a tripod, so we got a ground level. We got a grapevine. It doesn't need to be this long necessarily, but what I want it to do is I just want to tie it up to this branch here. Nice thing about hanging grapevines this time of the year is when you get them, they're going to be dripping water. It's a survival tip. You can get water out of grapevines. And I just want to tie it to this branch using this really thin paracord. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tie this directly first. So I'm going to put just a simple overhand square knot just to hold it in place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang this up here on the tree using my tag end to tie it to my tree limb. And I'm actually going to tie these 2 branches together because it's just ideal to give them a little bit more extra to rake their antlers against, or to get their nose glands on it. So we're tying these into a noose, so it's just a couple overhand knots all tied the same way, and it becomes a slip knot, noose knot. Then you've got this extra branch right here. This is right now right at my chest, but with what we got left, we're going to take this string and run it back to this tree. Watch this limb now. I don't want to go much more than that. Now we've got our branch tied back to the tree right here. I don't know if you can see this. This is a really thin cord. And we're running it all the way back out to our branch. And we got another slip knot on the branch itself, slip knot on the branch, And then we have our grapevine hanging here. So the grapevine basically, again, is just so if they pulverize these limbs, take them out with their antlers, and there's nothing left for them to tear up here, they're still going to have that grapevine there because that'll last a lot better. It's not going to get caught in their antlers as much. The only way that this grapevine would fall down, you can see this grapevine here, is if they destroyed those main branches coming off, and then it is what it is. There's other areas where they're going to form scrapes, but right now I'm trying to use this for pictures and to establish a community scrape. We talked about that in the food plot video I did, the vlog video, is that establishing a community scrape is way more important and way more beneficial if you can find one compared to one that just happens to pop up in the rut. Because the nice thing about a community scrape is this will be active all year. Not necessarily scraped out underneath, they won't be maybe using their hooves, but they'll be coming here checking this, just like a post office. Everybody's going to want to see who's in town, who's coming through in the summertime, what bachelor group is here, what doe family moved in. And then we get into rut, and we're going to be checking what babe's hot, which one's ready to chase. You know, we want something that's coming through all year long, all year, and that hopefully this will help establish that community scrape. The only really difference between a community scrape and just I would call it just a buck scrape, is that a buck scrape is more of a territorial scrape. You'll see them just pop up out of nowhere, maybe used for 1 or 2 days, then they're gone. Usually near licking branches like we have here, rub lines, but they're not as dependable as a community scrape when it comes to constant activity. So the last thing we've got to do with this scrape is clear this bottom area out. We're just going to remove the sticks with vegetation, get the vegetation out of there, and take a leak in it and kind of get it fired up. And then we're going to hang the camera way up in that tree and come back in a few weeks and get some pictures, hopefully. So that's my hot tip for you guys. Hopefully this video is short, simple, and sweet. It gets you fired up to get outside, get out here on whatever public land or private land, get yourself some community scrapes established, and yeah, get yourself pumped for hunting season because it's close. It's under 60 days. It's under, I think it's under 50 days. Hey, listen, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you feel like it, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button. We'll keep bringing good stuff at you. So enjoy this, enjoy your day. I'll catch you on the flip side, and God bless you.